gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas has some great stories, starting with one about the Coots Museum in El Dorado. Some funny trivia about the filming of the movie Picnic 60 years ago, and a tribute to Michelle Martin, a living historian who was born in Michigan, but came here and fell in love with Kansas. We'll end with a poem from Ron Wilson. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Well, here we are again. It's Wednesday, and this is Around Kansas. We're at the beginning to be world famous Dillon's
exactly.
Dillon House, which is, of course, across the street from the Capitol in Topeka. I'm Frank Chafin and
Deb Goodrich. Good to be with you this morning.
Well, we're going to talk about some things that we're working on. There have been a whole bunch of new things added to the Historic Register, believe it or not, in Kansas. And so I'm going to be doing a little research on those and then probably doing some stories. Like, have you ever heard of the Hermit Cave on Belfry Hill over near Council Grove?
Of course I have. Been there, done that,
okay.
Of course. Yeah, you're getting into my field again here, Frank.
There we go. All right. Anyway, just the name kind of sounds intriguing, so
it is.
Something there. Yeah.
And speaking of history, I got to present the awards for the State History Day winners at Washburn University a couple of weeks ago. Great kids doing some great projects. We may steal some of their ideas for the show, but we got some great kids heading to nationals, so it's always so encouraging to see how excited they are about these projects, and they work very hard. And Kansas has a fantastic reputation with nationals. We've had a lot of national winners for History Day competition.
Ah, that's good. And of course, the ongoing saga of the movie Picnic, and people have asked me, yeah, I'm watching that, and why are you on that? And a lot of it is simply because it was a big deal in Kansas 60 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there were 3 major Hollywood stars here. It got 6 Academy Award nominations, so I'm going to do some more stories.
Hey, and it's fun. Yeah, we can talk about William Holden and Kim Novak all day, can't we? You know, June 6th, I got to give this a plug real quick, out at the National Guard Museum at Forbes Field. I think it's Armed Forces Day. It's their annual event. It's tremendous. If there's any way you can get to Topeka that day, by all means come. It's a great kid-friendly event. They have lots of veteran ceremonies, but they've got displays. They've got cool planes and jeeps and tanks and some fantastic exhibits and a pancake feed that morning. It's a really wonderful event. I'll be there, so I hope to see you.
Okay. Now, have you heard of the Fix Homestead? Ah, got her. Okay. Well, that's another story that I'm going to be looking at. So I finally got one. So now you'll learn something here, too. It's over near a community called Voland. Have you heard of Voland?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew that.
Drove by there the other day, actually.
Okay, well, the Fix Homestead just went on the Historic Register. And so anyway, it's a homestead that goes back to 1860. So it'll be kind of an interesting story.
That is a beautiful area. That's one of the scenic drives in Kansas. You know, it's designated as a scenic drive. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. All those old stone homes and barns, and that's really beautiful.
Okay, we'll be back.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
The historic Topeka Cemetery is the oldest chartered cemetery in the state of Kansas. Founded in 1859, it is the resting place of thousands of soldiers and pioneers, the people that created our state and its institutions. It continues to be the sacred burying ground for Kansas families. Come take a tour of historic grave sites or just enjoy the spectacular view of the Topeka skyline. Call us at 785-233-4132 to arrange a visit.
This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield. Okay, we're back. We just have too much fun. We hope you do too. Okay, Deb, you have a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm going to sit back and see what you got.
Well, El Dorado, the Coots Museum. Have you ever been down there to that art museum? Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. And of course, the director is our good friend Rod Seal from right here in Topeka. He was the perfect person to take over this fantastic museum, and it's right down there on Main Street. It's well worth the drive. Of course, El Dorado's got some great history. I helped with Beth Cooper Meyer, my good friend, was putting together ghost tours down there a few years ago. So I got to spend quite a bit of time in El Dorado and visit with folks and go around and hear some of their ghost stories, and it was just great fun. But it's a wonderful community, and when we were at the We Can conference, Heather and I went a couple of months ago. The folks from El Dorado, my gosh, they've got fantastic ideas. They love their community. They're doing so many great things down there. I was really inspired by their presentations.
Yeah, you're right about Rod Seal. He's quite an accomplished artist himself.
He actually
and a photographer,
is.
And I know a lot of times he posts a lot of photography on Facebook, and it's really beautiful stuff.
He does some amazing stuff.
Yeah, he does. So
let's see more of the Coots Museum. El Dorado is the fabled lost city of riches, the elusive goal of centuries of searching. Funny, because those riches are hiding in plain sight in downtown El Dorado, and Rod Seal has found them. An accomplished artist and photographer himself, Rod had retired from the advertising business and had his own gallery when the opportunity to head the Coots Museum in El Dorado presented itself. It was irresistible. After all, who can turn down countless riches? Works for the museum were purchased primarily by Warren Hall Coots Jr., who traveled and purchased works from all over the world. The entire museum is a memorial to his son, Warren III, who was killed in a plane crash. The collection includes works from Russia, China, France, Holland, England, and South America. It has been enriched also by numerous donations of art by friends of the museum. The current artistic focus of the collection is American art and art of the American West, with an emphasis on Midwestern artists. Rod leads visitors through a museum that feels more like a private collector's home. Tasteful antique furnishings, some of which belong to the Coots family, antique Persian rugs, and artful arrangements set the mood for leisurely, relaxed browsing. Newly renovated areas are now open, and there is an elevator connecting the 3 floors. One of the museum's most prized possessions was purchased by Mr. Coots in Paris. It is of Empress Josephine, remember, Napoleon's wife? This work mingles with Western classics like Remington bronzes and paintings by modern artists. Turns out our riches aren't lost after all. They are right where they have always been, in the heart of El Dorado.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Welcome back to Around Kansas and Frank's ongoing series on the movie Picnic. And we could do a whole documentary on the making of Picnic in Kansas, couldn't we, Frank?
Yes, we could. Newton, Kansas kind of claims the movie more. They have Fox Theater in downtown Newton. And they do show the movie there. And it used to be you could go to the website and you could click on the Fox Theater, and then it showed actually scenes from the movie Picnic. It was actually filmed in like 6 different locations, but I thought it was fun to find a whole bunch of trivia about the filming of, in other words, the behind the scenes. And of course, it starred William Holden and Kim Novak. Actually, it was one of her first starring roles, and Rosalind Russell, of course, who was a major Hollywood star at the time. The movie got 6 Academy Award nominations and won 2 of them. And so anyway, it's just kind of fun to look into some of the fun stuff that went on. Some of it wasn't too fun because there were a lot of mosquitoes and tornadoes and everything else, but I don't want to steal anything away from the story. So.
You know, when we get through with your Picnic series, I'm going to start a series on some of the premieres, like the movie Dodge City, and I think Dark Command premiered in Lawrence and with John Wayne and all that. So we're going to do a lot more on movies that have been filmed and premiered in Kansas.
Well, there are a lot of people that have from Kansas that were in television and vaudeville, in movies, and on Broadway, and there are a wealth of people that we can talk about too.
Let's see some more.
Okay. I'm having fun talking about the movie Picnic, which was filmed 60 years ago here in the state of Kansas and near my hometown of Newton, Kansas. Another piece of trivia out of there. Filming began in Salina May 16, 1955. Nighttime crowds watched along the Smoky Hill River near an old mill as William Holden whipped a borrowed Corvette, or not a Corvette, but a convertible with Kim Novak in the passenger seat to a stop along the river. Director Logan, a perfectionist, filmed the scene over and over again, and a number of spectators and small boys often got in the way of the filming. A production member was designated assistant in charge of chasing small boys out of camera range. Other scenes filmed were Holden being chased by police around the mill and between railroad boxcars. Suddenly, the loudspeaker blared, "There's a small boy underneath the boxcar, get him out of there." When the big Holden Novak love scene was filmed, most of the crowd had gone home. Those who stayed said it was a dilly of a romance. Filming wrapped up shortly after 5 in the morning. By week's end, filming moved to Hutchinson. Just more fun things about the movie Picnic, filmed here in the state of Kansas.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Fresh herbs are healthy and add zest to almost every recipe. The folks at Jackson's grow more than 50 varieties of herbs right here, and many are available year-round. Our staff has hands-on experience and can't wait to assist you with your herb needs. Stop in and see us at Jackson's. We're open 7 days a week.
Topeka's largest selection of homegrown herbs is at Jackson's Greenhouse, with 4-inch pots starting at just $3.79.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. We're back, and of course we're back from the Dillon House across from the Capitol in Topeka, Kansas. And so what else you got going on?
Well, one of my dearest friends, Michelle Martin, is like myself, not a Kansas native. She came to Kansas and fell in love with it, and we came together through Kansas history. She is just a remarkable person and has been a wonderful friend to me, but more importantly, she's been a fantastic friend to Kansas history, from Fort Larned to Lecompton and especially the Fort Scott area. She's just an amazing person, and I just wanted to pay a little tribute to her.
Well, you know, I'm having some fun with this old-time baseball. I discovered it, and there are a bunch of teams all over the country, and there are some teams right here in Kansas. And I mean, they play under the old-time rules, no gloves, and they use a ball that's a little bit bigger than the hard ball that we have today. And they even use the language of the time, which makes it interesting because there is a striker and the not the umpire, but I can't think of the term right now, but he says advance, and I mean it's really kind of a fun thing. So we're going to show you some film of that too.
That'll be a great series. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's see my friend Michelle. Michelle Martin is a Michigander by birth, a Kansan by choice. Rarely has Kansas history had such a champion. As a living historian, teacher, and reenactor, Michelle takes us into a virtual time machine to the most turbulent decades of Kansas history. She has spent countless hours researching the lives of Kansas pioneers and reenacts many of those women. Her family claims that she suffers from multiple historical personality disorder. Her portrayals include Mahala Doyle, widowed by John Brown during the Potawatomi Massacre, and Sarah Seeley, who pretended to be a man in order to serve in the Union Army. Michelle said, "The ability to study the past is sometimes not enough to satisfy my desire to know about those who came before us. By knowing what previous generations wore, what they ate, how they lived, and what they thought, this gives us ultimate insight. When I wear 19th century clothing and work on the hot sun doing laundry for soldiers, or sit on officers' row writing letters, or when I tend wounded men after battle, I feel like I know what our ancestors lived through. This is reaching out and grabbing the past by the scruff of the neck and holding it in my hands and learning and preserving its secrets." She has taught at Pittsburgh State, Fort Scott Community College, and Baker University. Michelle has authored or co-authored several books, including The Prairie Table Cookbook with Bill Curtis and Kansas Forts and Bases with Deb Goodrich. She has appeared in documentaries on countless subjects, including The Bloody Benders of Cherryvale, and has portrayed the infamous Kate Bender. Most importantly, Michelle has given her heart and soul to Kansas, to preserving and sharing its rich history. She has spent thousands of hours volunteering for groups and organizations throughout the state. As the director and historian of the Little House on the Prairie Museum near Independence, Michelle oversees one of the most beloved sites in the nation. She has portrayed Caroline Ingalls on numerous occasions. On June 13th, the annual Prairie Day celebration at the Little House will mark Michelle's last event. She is moving to Albuquerque, New Mexico to pursue her doctorate in history. We are sad that she will be so far away, but we will continue to learn from her work and research. We also know that someday she will click her heels and come home. We hope you can make it to Prairie Days and let Michelle know how much her time in Kansas has meant to so many folks. Michelle, you are always a Kansan, no matter where you are.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Fairy gardening is now one of the fastest growing hobbies in the country. It is a great way also to introduce your children and grandchildren to the exciting world of plants. Basic fairy gardening is simple, affordable, and may be expanded as your interest grows. Let us help you. Jackson's has the best selection of many plants and accessories in Topeka.
Visit Jackson's and check out our great fairy garden collection. Bring the kids and grandkids too.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Being thrifty is a virtue. My kids might say that I'm cheap, but of course that all depends on what the cowboy wants to spend money on. This poem is entitled The Bargain. My wife and I went to the big city some time back. I stopped by the Western store to price some tools and tack. I need another pitchfork, but I sure said no dice when I saw they were charging an $18 price. That's way too much, I said, and we went on down the road, because I thought I'd find a bargain in an ad the paper showed. Our farm paper advertised a used tool and equipment sale, where I figured I could get a bargain without fail. It was part of an auction scheduled on a Saturday soon. The equipment sold in the morning, and the horse sale was at noon. So I bid on a pitchfork when we went over to the sale and got it for $8, less than half the price retail. I was proud of myself and my wise and thrifty ways when that auction entered into its next and final phase. The horse sale had begun, and the very next thing, the most beautiful quarter horse was led into the ring. A gorgeous 15-hand gelding. His color was bay, with great breeding lines registered by AQHA. The owner gave a glowing talk about his many strengths. To have that horse, I realized I'd go to any lengths. So in spite of my wife whispering in my ear, I raised my hand and caught the attention of the auctioneer. And then before I hardly realized just what I did, I ran her up and finally got the winning bid. I put that horse in the trailer, and we drove to the home place, but I didn't like the look I saw upon my dear wife's face. I could tell I was seriously on my wife's bad list. I finally said, "Hon, I'm sorry, I just could not resist." I knew she was suffering buyer's remorse from the $4,000 I'd spent on that horse. I said, "I guess I'm sorry for the way I behaved, but don't forget that pitchfork and the $10 that we saved." Well, it took a while, but my wife has finally forgiven me. She says I am a poster child for false economy. Happy trails.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, The Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.